Okay, so now we are going to do a concept map. Have you ever done a concept map before? No? Okay, so you're going to put down things about the civil rights movement from, you've done a museum tour, we've watched a video, you've read a book on it, right? We've had discussion about it. So now you get to think about a couple of things that you can think of, people, places, events, and you're going to put them into this table here, and you can use, you can go back to if you want to use your virtual museum, you can. Oh, all right, and we are just plugging away. If you can't think of more after we do the last activity with the timelines, you can plug stuff in too, okay? So, can you think about other things that would...
What was his name? Jose what?
I don't know. You can just leave it that one, it's fine. I can't remember the last name.
I forgot who was it.
Okay.
I had him on my mind.
Maybe I can help you. What's the question? Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of the person who marched with Jose.
John Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, those are all people that protested. What about people that changed the laws? Do you remember who was an influential, political leader during the time? Well, yes, Martin Luther King Jr. absolutely was. But can you think of... He was white. I'll give you that one.
I forgot his name.
What was the president's name?
Didn't you say at the beginning?
Mm-hmm. Think about the president's name. What was his name?
I don't know.
You can go back and you can look. You can look back on your virtual tour. This one.
Oh, it was... What about the Little Rock? No.
You can put them on there too. That's fine. I think you're on this one. Nope, this one.
What do I put?
You can put... They're people, so I would do the Little Rock 9. Okay.
John Kennedy?
So Kennedy definitely did start the stuff for the civil rights movement before he was assassinated. Yes, he started it. He truly did. We don't really read much about him in this lesson, but he definitely did start it.
Can I just put Kennedy?
Yeah, that's fine. You can put Kennedy. And then what about... Here, we got room for one more person. You are just plugging away at this one. What about...
Black Panther.
It was Malcolm X. You could. But there was Eisenhower. There was Lyndon B. Johnson.
Black Panther.
Okay, if you want to put Black Panther. That was the group's name, though. So, his name was Malcolm X.
How do I spell that?
Malcolm X. Yep. All right, now think about factors that would have led to the civil rights movement. So we have segregation there, right? So we have segregation.
Laws to vote?
The what?
Laws to vote?
Laws to vote, yeah. So voting for sure. Absolutely.
Voting.
Not voting. Voting. Think about, so segregation was definitely a big factor. Voting was a big factor. What was something else?
Pick up. What if it was the sign thingies?
Protesting?
Yeah.
Okay. Would that be a factor of the civil rights movement, or would that be a effect?
Effect.
That would be an effect, right? So that would probably go under here, right? Okay. So factors. What was the reason that people were fighting? Think about the reason that people were fighting. So segregation. You can elaborate on segregation too. That's a very broad word. You can definitely build off of that word. Like, what were they segregated against? What were they?
But they can't sit together on buses.
Okay, so yeah, sure. So buses, transportation, public transport, whatever.
Buses.
Okay. So think about other places where they couldn't be together. I'm sorry.
School.
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
Cool. I'm thinking. Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good. And I promise he hasn't had this unit since 2nd grade, so.
I haven't had it since 3rd. Houses.
Were they not allowed to live in houses, or like what do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I don't think they were allowed to live in houses together.
So like.
If it's segregation, then
Okay.
okay, I put houses.
So I know like interracial relationships were not, I mean, we didn't really read about that or like hear anything about like.
It says segregation.
You're right,
Which
it does.
keeps black and white people apart.
You're right.
Could I?
What did they have that was different? Sure. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. It's your concept map, buddy Deucer.
They had less teaching.
Well, that would be part of schools, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What about, think about how they made money.
Wait. I'm already done with 2 now.
Okay, now events. So we had the Montgomery bus riot. We have protesting. What did...
The marching of Dr. Luther King.
What would, do you remember what that one was called? The March on...
March on Martin Luther King?
March
March
on...
on Martin?
No.
Let me go back.
Good. Go back and use your resources, bud. Oh. Too far.
Washington.
March on Washington. What was that one about? What big thing happened there?
They all marched
Mm-hmm.
so they wouldn't have to sit in buses because they all sat at the back.
Okay, and what did Martin Luther King deliver that day?
A dream speech.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called?
Washington. Okay. What's another event that happened that you can think of?
This is what. Selma, Alabama Church.
The Selma, Alabama March? Yeah, that was when they traveled how many miles?
50.
Good. You're going to be able to give a presentation to this to your class. Let's think of other events that happened. They were pretty big.
The Little Rock.
So the Little Rock Nine were people, but it was also an event. I'd be okay if you put that as both. Because they were people, but it was also, I mean, that's what it's titled as, the event, so I would accept that.
Freedom. The sit-ins?
Yeah. Those were pretty prominent. Is there one more event that you can think of?
Let me see.
We still have a timeline to do too. You're doing so good.
Brown versus Board of Education.
That was definitely something that contributed to Little Rock 9.
Can I just put BVBOE?
Sure. Okay, so let's see your factors for the civil rights movement. You have segregation, voting, buses, schools, restaurants, houses, and working. Your people of the civil rights movement you named Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr.
Rosa Parks are just known there.
Oh, I know. That was your right model. John Lewis, the Little Rock Nine, Kennedy, and Malcolm X. The Montgomery bus riots. These were events protesting March on Washington, Selma, Alabama March, Little Rock 9 sit-ins, and the Brown versus Board of Education. Cool. How do you feel about that? Feel pretty good about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't forget to put your name. Oh.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. You're in the header.
Just right here.
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I'll leave it alone.
Gotta put a space.
Always remember to put your name on things. You always want credit for it. Okay. All right, awesome. Now we're going to get ready to do our timelines, and I'm really, really sorry, but this is supposed to be like a group project, but we can work on it together if you'd like, because you don't have a partner, because we're not allowed around other children right now, and that's okay.